Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles, and welcome to my DNF review of Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Now, I know that a lot of people really love this book, and I love that for y'all. It didn't work for me, and the main reason is because I really didn't like Alexis, and from chapter 1 I knew that. However, I was hoping that maybe she would grow on me, and instead the exact opposite happened. Because this is a DNF review, I will be talking about what exactly it was that made me want to stop reading, and so there will be spoilers. Obviously, I didn't make it to the end, but I am going to spoil where I stopped and why. So I made it about 33% in, and specifically the scene where I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, is when Alexis and her friends are going on a girls trip, and they end up at Daniel's B&B, and she pretends not to know him. I personally think that's disrespectful as fuck, and there's no coming back from that. You can't make up for that, in my opinion. So I just really couldn't root for their relationship anymore, and I didn't think that Alexis deserved Daniel because he's genuinely a great person. He's the character that I really liked, and part of the reason that I even lasted as long as I did in this book. I also did like Alexis' friend Bree, and I know that she is the female main character in the second book. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I never liked Alexis, and that just really ruined it for me. I can understand that she was afraid that Daniel would be judged by the people in her life, but instead of doing what she did, she should have had a conversation with him. And I understand that at first it was supposed to be just casual, and obviously it's a romance, so they will end up having a relationship in the end. But if you feel that way, then you need to tell him that and tell him why, so that he can be prepared and make his own decisions instead of her doing what she did, which didn't help anybody. Like, that's the worst possible thing that I think she could have done. And at the end of the day, Daniel is a grown-ass man. I'm sure he has faced judgment at some point in his life, and I think he is capable of handling it. Not to mention the fact that you're embarrassed to be with someone who actually treats you well and is 10 times better than the asshole that you were with before. And because I didn't read the book, I am curious about how it ends. So if you're interested in telling me, feel free to. If you're going to do it here though, mark it as a spoiler so you don't ruin it for anybody else. But some of the questions that I had at the end were, does anything happen to her ex? Because he, I hope, is at least exposed, or something bad happens to him. And I also hope that Alexis took the time to really make it up to Daniel, because in my opinion, what she did was unforgivable, but it's a romance, so they're gonna end up together anyway. I just don't really know how they're gonna get to that point. So originally, the reason that I started reading this is because I was supposed to buddy read Yours Truly with Jashana and Robin. Once I decided to DNF, I told them to go ahead and continue without me. I think they both enjoyed it, which I'm glad to hear. I did hear it is fake dating, which I actually like. So I'm curious if y'all think that I would enjoy the other book, especially because it's about Bree and I do like her. I don't know if it was Alexis as a character that didn't work for me, or if it's Abby Jimenez's writing. So if y'all think that Yours Truly would be worth it, I'd be willing to give it a try. I won't be pressed to get to it. I'm not gonna read it anytime soon, but maybe in the future I might pick it up. So because I didn't get far, I didn't have that much to say. My only takeaway here is that I can't stand Alexis. But let me know if you have read Part of Your World and or Yours Truly, what you thought of them, if you think I would like them, and how you feel about the situation, and if there was enough for them to end up together in the end, because I feel like she would have to do a lot to make that happen, but that's just my opinion. So let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.